How the AIF journey started. In 2012, the regulation came in, and 2014, there are almost 40 plus funds got registered with SEBI and raised about 13,000 crores. That was the start of AIF. In 5 years, in 2019, the fund size got double, 10 times of what they were earlier in 2014. In 19, it becomes 1,34,000 in terms of fundraise, and 500 plus fund got registers in all three categories. As we speak, 2020-24, more than 1,500 funds have been registered with SEBI. Good morning, everyone. How are you feeling? Day 2. So, let me start my presentation by asking a few questions. Invest in real estate? Do you want to do hassle-free investment in real estate? Do you want to earn higher return in real estate? Yes, that's what I'm here to explain about AIF, how that makes a difference in real estate. So, basically real estate investing in India is a traditional and it's an emotional decision. When people used to buy real estate assets in India, they used to attach a lot of emotions to it. That trend has changed over time. In Gujarat, there is an old saying where people say that we would like to invest in the property where we can see that property, the eyes goes to that, and we can reach that property in few hours. That was the tradition few years back when people investing in real estate. Today, people buying real estate in terms of second home in the same city and outskirts, and also in the different cities. The scenarios have changed by investing in real estate. Typical way of investing in real estate when the developer launched the projects, right? You have this normal cycle which is there, where people start project, buy the land, or in Bombay like redevelopment projects which are happening, right? Then builders plan for approvals, they apply for approvals, and then the investors which are there, HNI, ultra HNI investors, enter at the launch, pre-launch stage, and builder builds the sample house, building the structure, superstructure, finishing of the projects, and the end of the project cycle, and the appreciation from pre-launch to launch stage. That's the typical cycle. Now that cycle remains the same, but lot of governance and regulation have come in place, the way the people used to buy investment earlier. Like RERA has been introduced and it made lot of investment for real estate, it become transparent and investors confidence about buying property in different cities. When generally HNI investors or investors invest, they invest basically, sorry, how do I back? Yeah, sorry. So typically investors buy at pre-launch stage and they enter at pre-launch stage and exit when the property is ready. And that's the earning profits which they have or delta which they earn. But as an AIF, AIF is allowed to invest at the land stage where the developer really needs money. And by investing in AIF, the investor can earn the difference between the launch and the land stage difference which are there. That's what makes AIF more appropriate for an investor to invest, and they can make alpha on it. That's what the real estate AIF brings to you. In AIF, there are 3 categories we have heard yesterday also, like category 1 which basically raise funds and deploy in startups, category 2 which invest into unlisted companies which are in real estate or logistics or other companies which are there, and category 3 which is typically for hedge fund or long short options which are there in category 3 which are there. Typically over last 12 years, the 70% of the money which has been raised is into category 2. How the AIF journey started. In 2012, the regulation came in, and 2014, there are almost 40 plus funds got registered with SEBI and raised about 13,000 crores. That was the start of AIF. In 5 years, in 2019, the fund size got double, 10 times of what they were earlier in 14. In 19, it becomes 1,34,000 in terms of fundraise, and 500 plus fund got registers in all three categories. And that's what the transformation of AIF which has bring. Government has brought, SEBI has brought a lot of transparency, governance, investor protection program, which has helped to generate alternate assets kind of an investment where investors can put in money through an AIF. As we speak, 2020-24, more than 1,500 funds have been registered with SEBI, and 4,51,000 crores is already raised with respect to the AIF. And that's the growth journey has there in last 12 years. Yesterday when we were talking in the presentation, we heard that in the initial, the first 40 fund, in that category 2 was 27 funds. So I was also lucky to be part on that category where we also registered a fund in 2013 when I was part of Sanjay Lalbhai Group, Urban Limited, 2013. And that was the era of the transformation in AIF which has happened. So we were also an early adopter of AIF which has happened in real estate. As the data speaks, already 4,51,000 is raised in category 2 alone, which is in real estate investments also, is out of which 3,21,000 crores, we have already deployed 2,79,000 crores in total deployment, out of which 68,000 crores has been deployed in real estate alone, which forms 17% of total deployment fund which is there in real estate. That's the growth trajectory. As we speak, and we saw earlier presentation where we are talking about growing 8 trillion economy in next 4 years. The real estate is the largest contributor to the GDP contributor which is there. That growth will come as we are seeing the real estate also picking it up. And investors take an alternative assets to deploy their funds through a real estate where they don't need to do all the physical activity to buy a purchase of asset and still enjoy the returns of real estate. That's the growth story which is there. As what are the differentiator and what are the advantages of investing in real estate? In Bombay में 1 crore में घर आता है? नहीं आता है, right? People left out who wants to earn the real estate investment return. There it's very difficult to buy a property. And as we say that कि property वहीं खरीदते हैं जहां हम रहते हैं, जहां हम देख सकते हैं, and we enjoy or we stay there. In 1 crore investment, you can start your investment in AIF. That 1 crore when you invest, let's say you get an opportunity to buy, you go to first little far, let's say Boisar, Virar, I don't know वहां पे भी अभी वो rate है या नहीं है, but 1 crore में assume करते हैं हमको एक property मिलती है 1 crore में. We invest that 1 crore in one property. Here in AIF, that's differentiator. That 1 crore get deployed in 5 to 6 assets of your investment. That's the differentiator which is there in AIF. Second is professional management. When we buy a property, right, we do a lot of research. Builder कौन है, वो project complete करेगा या नहीं करेगा time पे, उसका position कैसा है, उसके पास approval है या नहीं है, वो timely possession देगा या नहीं देगा. All that factors, as a buyer, we want to evaluate all that factors. But if you are really going to stay, there are two types of investment. Once you buy a property or you buy a commercial asset which you are going to use. Sometimes you will look at the real estate asset class as an investing and you want to enjoy the return, right? Where we as a professional comes in and the SEBI has given clear mandate, clear policies how the fund management will be working. So there are professionals who have come in the space of AIF to manage the AIF categories. Regulatory framework. Look at the transparency and investor protection program which is built with over last 12 years. Overall, not only with respect to AIF, but overall the investor protection program which SEBI is running it. The agenda of SEBI is to get investors first. When you do anything, the compliance, the regulatory, the transparency, all that factors are most important. And that's what we have seen the growth of equity market to reach to 80,000 crore, right? The retail participation, the mutual fund participation, all that has come because the transparency has built in. When we say the mutual fund sahi hai, 20 saal pehle, when you guys wanted to sell the mutual fund, it was so difficult to sell mutual fund. The transformation has happened. And that same transformation is coming now in an AIF category, where you as a distributor, wealth distributor, will get educated and you same knowledge you can pass to your investors and your client to invest into an AIF categories. Structured investment. In AIF, when we invest as a buyer, आप अगर investment के लिए property खरीद रहे हो, तो you have to only think for how you are going to get an exit. When you enter at the launch stage, it's not necessary that project खत्म हो जाएगा और आपका property बिक जाएगा और you will get the benefit or return what you are expecting, right? But as a fund managers, when we invest, before investing, we have an exit plan from that property on exit, how we are going to make an exit. So that's the another structured way of investing which are there. End of the day, हर कोई को investments में return चाहिए, and that's what's the most important thing. Whether I do it or you do, everybody look for a return, and that's what this gives the similar return or better return by professionalizing approach with transparency, process driven. All that factors plays an important role. किस developer के साथ पैसा लगाना है, किस project में पैसा लगाना है, how you are going to exit that. So that's what makes that return better, risk adjusted return, which you can investors as an expect. Coming back to Shivalik as a fund, Shivalik Investment Fund is 150 crore fund. We're proud to say that we have already raised 75 crore and we have announced our first closure in the month of September. The fund is, category 2 fund is basically a close-ended fund. So people ask, kitna time ka lock-in hai? So here, like as per SEBI, you have to define the date of your exit. Because if you want to extend that, investor approval is mandatory to extend. So as an investors, as an investment policy, we invest in the project which get complete in 3 to 4 years. If anything happens, another get delayed, maybe of 5 years. So we start taking money within in period of 1 year and then deploy in next 1 year and get the return in 3 to 4 years or max 5 years. We are targeting as a fund on the real estate space, which we are doing it in Ahmedabad, is to target an investment return of 20 to 22% IRR. That's what possible because we have carved out that niche strategy to invest with the selective developers in Ahmedabad to give that money and have the secured kind of a return which generate 20 to 22% kind of an IRR on portfolio level. And it turns out to an investor level on post-tax, post-expenses, everything put together between 15 to 16%. That's the growth IRR which we are seeing in Ahmedabad when we deploy. Real estate, as we spoke about, again, the real estate is going to be a largest contributor in contributing to GDP. As currently we speak, we are around $200 billion as a real estate economy, which is going to translate to in 2030 will be a 1 trillion, which is like 5 times of what we are today as in real estate we stand. Gujarat, everybody has heard about Gujarat. Gujarat is prosperous city or states where the growth is there. GDP, Gujarat also contributes to 8% to the GDP. Gujarat is like transparency, and last over a decade, I can proudly say that the lot of transformation changes has come. Lot of transparency has come by the government initiative which has been come. The gift city which you heard, now people not India talking about, but outside India also talking about gift city. Gift city also has a fund structure where the foreign money comes in dollar terms. So that's the growth which is happening in gift city. And another Gujarat in Ahmedabad, the beautiful things is like the connectivity. It's so good that you can reach one destination to another destination with the multiple options of reaching the same destination. The connectivity, the affordability, all that has get the investor attention, and people are now investing in Gujarat, Ahmedabad. Why trust us as Shivalik? As a Shivalik developer, people may not know who is Shivalik in Bombay, but if you come to Gujarat, we are happy to host you. We can tell it what kind of development we have delivered. Last 26 years, the group has delivered 10 million square feet in Gujarat. That's the growth which is there. And the same 10 million square feet we are expected to deliver in next 10 years. Almost every year 1 million square feet. Currently as we speak, 8 million square feet are going on in our project in Ahmedabad, out of which 4 million square feet alone is going on in Gift City. That's the growth trajectory we are talking about, Gujarat and Ahmedabad. The group is promoted by second generation entrepreneurs, Mr. Chitraksha and Taral Shah. Group has delivered 75 landmark projects in Ahmedabad. The fund is managed by professionals, and we have got a very good investment committee team who has come from a banking background, which constitute this as a investment policy decision when we make a decision. This brings a lot of governance and transparency on how we are raising money, how we are deploying money, and how we are monitoring and getting the exit for our investors. Real estate, as again, proud to say that we are the first developer in Gujarat to start a real estate institute. We are the first developer in Gujarat to do an AIF. We are the first developer in Gujarat to do a manufacturing of furniture and interior business. We have got Stanley, Lofi, all that licensed we are there. We are going to manufacture furniture. So what we are trying to do as a group is we are creating the entire ecosystem for customers, for investors, for buyers to have that ecosystem to enjoy and benefit out of what is there in India. In fact, as we in Ahmedabad, we don't treat our developers as a competitors, right? We do treat them as a partners. We have done more than 35 JVs with the developers in Ahmedabad. That's what the ecosystem we provide. The small video which recaps what we are doing as a group in Ahmedabad and what is the AIF, all is talk about.
Since 1998, Shivalik Group has redefined Gujarat's real estate with over 75 landmark projects and 10 million square feet of trust and innovation. From pioneering green practices to crafting 1-200 sustainable homes, we build more than spaces, we build communities. Now we are reshaping real estate investment with Shivalik Investment Fund, Gujarat's first developer-backed SEBI-registered Category 2 AIF. With $5.3 billion raised globally, Shivalik AIF offers access to high-potential residential, commercial and plotting opportunities. Backed by 26 years of expertise and a robust deal pipeline, Shivalik AIF delivers performance-driven returns. Minimum investment $1 crore. Be a part of Gujarat's growth story. Invest in Shivalik, a legacy of integrity, innovation and sustainability. Shivalik Investment Fund, where vision, opportunity and trust converge.
So as we see, the AIF has given a lot of room for investors to select as an asset class and stay in Bombay or anywhere and still enjoy the return which is available in real estate. Thank you very much.